If you're Arab watching this, then you know that mental health does not exist in your household. I grew up with a dad with schizoaffective disorder, and that was very crazy to deal with considering that I didn't really know anybody else in my community who dealt with a mentally ill parent. A lot of the times what ends up happening is Middle Eastern communities are pretty religious, so they'll say things like, oh, you should just pray about it, or they'll blame somebody, and it typically falls on a person's spouse if they are married, which is exactly what happened in my situation. People in my family kept telling my mom to just be strong and handle my dad's mental illness. When I was in both middle and high school, I felt severely depressed and was told that I could just handle it myself, and that was just what you had to do because depression didn't exist. I was told that I could not see a therapist or any type of counselor, and I just had to get over things. I'm not lucky in the sense that my dad did struggle with schizoaffective disorder, but the one good thing that came out of it is my dad's situation was pretty severe, so he was forcibly admitted to the hospital because nobody could really deny it anymore, which is pretty sad. And having a mentally ill parent is almost more complicated than having a parent who just kind of flat out sucks, because the relationship gets really complicated because you fully understand that their erratic behaviors are not within their control, but then you can't help but get angry that they chose their high from their bipolar state over being medicated and taking care of their family, because it's really hard to understand that a mentally ill parent doesn't really live in that reality where they see that they are hurting you. All they feel is what's going on inside of them, and it's really hard to deal with. It makes me wonder how many other Arab people have mental illnesses and just don't know it because we're not allowed to believe in it, and even if they know that something is off about you, you are dissuaded from getting it checked out, and instead of getting you help and support, what ends up happening is you just get shunned and black sheeped out of your community. For those reasons, I just couldn't really relate to a lot of Arab kids growing up in my area because I always had the weird family situation that nobody could understand. And honestly, sometimes it feels like the family of a mentally ill parent suffers even more than the person with the mental illness themselves. And I know that's a really controversial thing to say, but a lot of times that's how I genuinely felt, because while my dad was on a manic high and feeling like he was on top of the world, I was in the slums and dealing with all the problems that came with that manic state. I hope our community can get better at addressing mental illness.